Well, hello. Hello there. I'm back. I'm back after a week off, and I'm back, as you might have noticed, with a camera and a mic. Look at this baby right here. This is a full blown $40 podcast mic right here. Look at that. Ooh. It moves around, it comes back. I can be resting back here, resting on my laurels, and I got a nice mic in front of me that I can just sit there and talk with it. Mm, mm, that's nice. I like that. It's gonna take a few sessions to work out the ideal levels for how I want this mic coming through, how I want the game audio coming through, and I've got a little knob here, and it appears that it controls the volume. Test, test, test. Mic check, mic check. 1 2 1 2. Test, test. I think that's a little loud. I think that's okay right there. We look to be hitting some good levels. We're not getting in the red at all. We're chilling over here. I like that. I like that setting right there. But here we are. We got ourselves a webcam. We've got ourselves a mic. And we've got ourselves a controller. I've been working on gyro. I've been working on gyro controls lately. I'm going to be implementing gyroscopic controls into this stream series, this I Crash, I Donate stream series. And speaking of donate, I crashed. I crashed 1 week ago at Bahrain International Circuit, and I crashed going on a right hand turn. I was going into the turn a little bit fast and did not slow down as much as I would have liked to, although I was pretty close to the speed that I wanted to be going. Regardless, I had the bike slightly sideways, so it was like slightly to the right, or the tail end was going slightly out to the left. And I was coming in on the corner, and it was a complex one where it like came up and then went straight for a little bit and then circled around even tighter. And I'd gone up, I'd gone over the hill a little bit, I was going down, and then see on these like rumble strips here, my the two wheels on my bike like slotted down into this rumble strip. And the rumble strips in this game are generally pretty good. I don't know how they compared to real life rumble strips because I haven't ridden on real life rumble strips. So I don't know if there are some that are like incredibly dangerous that just all the motorcyclists know to look out for, such as this one. Um, and then if there are some that are fine for motorcyclists, I assume that that's how it is. But is it as random in a certain track like this one? Like most of the rumble strips in this track, you can ride safely. A couple of them, you definitely do need to know what you're doing when you're going over them. Like there are a few that do have these notches, and this might be one of them. There's one that has a notch, and if you go over it, you would realistically crash. So who knows? Who knows? Regardless of how realistic this crash was, it was my tires going down into what was supposedly a notch in the rumble strip. My bike slipped out from under me, tires lost traction, um, and then I went down, and it was around 70 miles an hour, 60 miles an hour, something like that. and that is going decently fast, but on that particular track, at that particular corner, there were no bumps, there were no obstacles, and as far as I can tell, if the crash physics in that game were a little more realistic, it would have shown my motorcycle going forward, possibly flipping once or twice, and it would have shown my guy just sort of sliding in and then presumably popping up unharmed after the crash. Oh, so all that is to say, I would not have been harmed, I don't think, and I think my bike might have gotten slightly damaged. So, in order to simulate those aspects of motorcycle riding in this series, I took a week off to simulate repair time, and I donated $50 to a charity. Now, this charity that I chose to donate to is called Not Forgotten, and it is run by, I don't know if it's run by Destin, but Destin plays a part in this charity. Destin from Smarter Every Day here on YouTube. He made a charity that feeds, provides shelter for, and provides education to children, I want to say orphans, in a town in Peru. And Destin's done multiple progress checks over the years on everything that they've done over there, and it's kind of insane. I'll just link the latest video that they did, that Destin did about the charity, so that you guys can just go see the explanation there. I don't know the charity well, so I'm not going to go and explain it. I trust Destin, and so that's where I threw my money this time. In the past, I've donated, when I was doing this series on Twitch, I donated to Movember, which is a men's mental health charity. And before that, I want to say I donated once or twice to, what were they called? I'm not going to remember the name. But it was a charity that provided medical equipment to Ukrainian soldiers. And so that's that. I don't know how good I feel about doing this, but I guess it goes along with this whole series, so I gotta show you something. Gotta show you some receipt. So I've made sure to block out my address and everything here. We got a nice little receipt. I chose $52 so that I could. I'm such a good guy right here. I covered the freaking transaction costs. Look at that. Suck on that. Such a good, humble guy right here. Okay. So that's that. That's that. And now that I've made my donation and I've waited my requisite week, I can get on back into doing what I love, doing these streams. And now, this is pretty funny. You don't have to listen to me through this mic right there. That's how I used to talk to you guys, is the mic on my PS5 controller. Janky shit right there. I was so happy when I saw that option though. Like when I was streaming the first day, I just thought that I would not have a mic, and then I saw that and I was like, oh shit, here we go. I can just use my controller for my mic, but don't need to do that anymore. I think I will be okay. So thus far, I need to be playing around with this a little bit, see what works. See if I need to tighten shit down a little bit. I think, what was I saying? I think I'm gonna be keeping my... I'll be keeping my webcam and my mic on screen for the duration of the... Just playing around with my lighting here and with my microphone. I've got a slight jank light set up, but it's not too bad. It gets the job done. Doesn't look awful. But I'm gonna be playing the game with the webcam and the mic. Thus, from here on out, thus far, I've not done that. I've muted myself, I think, when I've been out on the road. And to some degree, I still want to mute myself. Maybe I will mute myself. Because talking and writing is distracting. Like, I can do it. But definitely, I don't think I want the chat up on screen, at least yet. And I don't even really know how I would do that. But, yeah, just thinking about talking while I stream. Or just even keeping the mic on. I think if I kept the mic on, I probably wouldn't talk the whole stream. I don't know. As I was saying, it is distracting. Like I'm trying to be laser focused on this when I'm doing it. And maybe that's a little bit too much focus for daily practice. I think maybe if I'm doing this daily, and I know I'm doing this daily, then, I can scale back the laser focus, the needing to do it laser focused every day. And simply, because this was my main downfall when I crashed, is I was just focusing, well, I wasn't just focusing on speed, but a large focus of mine that night was just trying to be somewhat fast, I think I'd allowed myself to go into third gear. And third gear on a Ducati is like 150 miles an hour, so it's fast. And I want to do this streaming series for thousands of days. Like, if I could get to day 3,000, if I could do this for like 10 years, perhaps, that'd be awesome. I would love that. That would be very cool. At that point, I'd have a whole sim rig built up. It'd be a well-oiled machine if I was streaming at day 3,000. But, yeah, I wanna stream for a long time, regardless of exactly how long that is. I need to be focusing more on my smoothness, not as much on my speed. So, yeah, just things I'm thinking about right now. I'd like to go very smooth. I don't want to do much speed yet. Every once in a while I'll do a fast stream if I'm feeling confident. What else? How are my audio levels looking just at this volume? They're touching yellow, and every once in a while they're going up to the red. That seems to be okay, especially if those touches happen when I go t t t t t or ch 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 sh s. Just testing right now. Just doing some tests. T t ch ch. Yeah, those are getting up to the red. That seems pretty good. I think without any further ado, we get into it. Let's see. That is capturing to the right place. And we're doing TT today. As you can see, I've got an earbud in, got a headphone in, got a podcast coming through this here, game audio through this here. Can't beat it. I'll be doing gyro controls today, so I'll be riding very, very carefully, going for all smoothness on this one. And I think I will keep my mic hot while I'm streaming. I hope that you can see this controller right here. I want to say that it is within frame. My controller's not working. I don't know how normal that is. I don't play this game quite as much as I do Rims. It's a good sign. El Salvador. El Salvador. I love that music. I tried to look around to buy it recently, but I couldn't find it. Alright, first things first. Let's change our season over to Super Sport. That is it, yes. It's gonna be fun watching this stream back after I'm done with it. Okay, so this is kind of what I want. So as I hope you guys can see, I have figured out gyro controls relatively well. I did do one stream with them before, maybe two. And I've got them figured out relatively well. There are so many damn confusing options to choose for gyro. I use my gyro through stream inputs, and there are stream inputs is such a buggy software, and there are so many damn unclear options in that user interface. It's ridiculous. But I ended up choosing as my main gyro option, I think it was called Gyro to Joystick Deflect or something like that. And it was like it was joystick deflection, something like joystick deflection. And what that essentially did, why I chose that one above all the others, was because all the other ones would recenter after a little while. And so I'd be in the middle of a turn and the gyro on my controller would think that I had recentered my controller to that new orientation in the middle of a turn. And so it would straighten out the handlebars immediately, way before I wanted it to, and then I would have to like move the controller around in order to try to get it back to center, and it just was not working. So I did joystick deflect, and for some reason, that problem went away. So with joystick deflect, you deal with a permanent center, and that was the real kicker for me. That was a kicker. No recentering. The only problem with that, with joystick deflect, was you could not change the degree of freedom that you wanted the specific control to be mapped to. So you've got, just to explain that, you've got 3 degrees of freedom. You've got yaw. You've got 3 like angular degrees of freedom. You've got yaw, roll, and pitch. Pitch deals with vertical axes. So if I were to move the controller like that, dangerous to do it in this frickin' series. That's pitch. Moving the controller, rolling it like that, vertically, that's yaw. And then if you were to move it like this, like tilting it, that's roll. So that was a very dangerous demonstration right there, but all of that is to say that with joystick deflect chosen as your main option, you cannot assign roll or yaw to your horizontal axis. So with gyro as joystick deflection, it mirrors a joystick. So when you tilt the controller forward, it thinks that you're putting in an up input on the joystick, and then when you roll it to the sides, it thinks that you're putting in side inputs. I'm getting bored even just talking about this, but I'll finish out the explanation for whatever reason. Okay, when you get to yaw and roll, I did not want my steering to be on the rolling axis. I wanted it to feel like I was actually turning a pair of handlebars. And to do that, you use the yaw input. Almost like you're using a steering wheel, except with motorcycle handlebars it is reversed, since you're pretty much always counter steering. Oh, and I'm getting used to it now. This is fun. Anyway, when I was first playing around with this, I thought that it was not the perfect option for me, because if you had the controller flat on your lap or flat on a desk, when you picked it up to try the gyro, it would only pick up your rolling inputs. It would not pick up any yaw inputs, which is exactly what I wanted. But and so that was a little discouraging to me at first. I was like, damn, I don't know what I'm gonna do here. But I was playing around with it for a little while, and I was playing Assetto Corsa on it, and just randomly I picked my controller up and was holding it vertically, and I noticed that as soon as I did that, it would pick up my yaw inputs, even more so than my roll inputs. And so what I figured out is that this gyro to joystick deflection is essentially Um, See, this is another reason I don't really like talking and writing, because you focus so much on writing and then you blank on where the conversation was going. Oh yeah, so I picked the controller up and I was using it vertically and it was taking the yaw inputs. So I was like, shit, this is kind of weird. This might actually be exactly what I want, or very close to what I want. And so I noticed that if I held the controller at a tilt, such as I'm doing right now, it would take a combination of both yaw and roll inputs. And so on gyro to joystick deflection, the controller isn't locked at any given it's not locked to roll or yaw. So that was kind of interesting. And I noticed that well, if I did hold the controller at this angle like it is right now, it actually feels a bit more like real life handlebars than it would if I were holding it horizontally and trying to work with yaw or whatever, right? Yeah, I gotta be going slow doing this. This is dangerous. But yeah, so right now with my controller setup as it is taking about half of the yaw reading and half of the roll reading of the controller, and it is allowing me to use the controller very, very similarly to how I would real life handlebars. Right now they are flipped, and I think I reversed my webcam. There's no reason for me to have done that, so I'll undo that for the next stream. But yeah, so I can mimic counter steer. Like right now I'm pushing the controller to the left and it's turning left, pushing to the right, turning right. It's not working like a normal steering wheel, and it's cool. The thing that does give me some trepidation is that even though the yaw movements are corrected to how they would be in real life, allowing me to counter steer, once I get to a certain point of turn, and I may be able to calibrate this within Steam Labs or Steam Input, once the controller's at a certain degree of yaw turn, it will not take any more yaw input, so then it needs to be rolled as normally, and I don't exactly know which direction to roll it if I'm making, say, a very, very sharp turn. So I may practice that a little bit in a safe spot. Coming up here. Maybe I'll do it right here. So let's see. That's actually pretty nice. That's as sharp as I would really want to go, I think, ever. And I can get that fine with the controller setup as it is right now. Let's try the other direction. Yeah, man, that might be all I needed to do. That's kind of nice. I hope that there's a cockroach on my desk. That's disgusting. I hope that I'm blanking. The cockroach that took my thoughts. Cockroach took my soul. Kukadacha. So this is feeling pretty nice. There was a turn or two at that little section. I'm gonna go over here. There was a turn or two in that little section that felt really nice. I was just barely touching the front and the rear brake going into it, and I could really feel the bike just like squatting down underneath me. It was nice. So, like more so in a different way than I've felt any other time playing this game with just a normal joystick to turn. I wanna try this right here. Now I'll try it in both directions. So that was perfectly fine. This one, perfectly fine. I may be in a very good position with how the universe has allowed this little system to develop. It's got some good luck going. Yeah, this is fun. I'm gonna have a feeling I'm gonna be able to drive a lot better with this here gyro controller after I get a good amount of practice with it. And I'll definitely need a little bit of practice with this. I assume that I'm gonna look pretty funny leaning around and looking with my head on this webcam, leaning into the turns and all that. I'm hopeful for it though. I love having a little webcam. It's nice, and this mic too. I can lean back and still get picked up. It's wonderful. Pretty soon, I'd love to have a standing desk. That'd be fun to play these games on. Oh, this is nice. This is really nice. Now I'm kind of kicking myself for not having bought the DualShock, or the DualSense Express, the DualSense Edge, I think maybe. DualSense Express would be pretty funny, but I gotta air a little bit of regret at not having bought the DualSense Edge, because having those two buttons underneath the controller to shift gears would be amazing right now. Right now I've had to work out a fairly unorthodox little method to allow myself to shift gears and also lean down and lean up on the bike. And I've assigned each of those buttons to the D-pad, so down on the D-pad tucks in, up on the D-pad tucks out, left shifts down, right shifts up, and I do not enjoy that placement very much at all, because my thumb's having to do a lot. If I could have it my way, excuse me. If I could have it my way, I would place these shifting buttons underneath the controller on those little, excuse me, on those little buttons. Now it's possible that I could put the shifters on my bumpers, but I also don't really want to do that. And before I started using gyro, I had the shifting buttons on my thumbsticks. Like I would click each thumbstick in order to shift up or down. But now that I've got my thumb off of my left thumbstick and onto the D-pad, then that's not quite as possible. I just paused there because I'm trying to think. There are so many different possibilities that you could use to set up a controller like this. Damn, this is kind of fun though. This is really fun. You really get your body so much more into it than you would have before. Now I've thought about using the backwards pitch on the gyro in order to do throttle. Right now my throttle is down on the right thumbstick, and that's really fun because it does feel a lot like a throttle in real life. It's pretty much the same movement, you know. I've been running that on my controller for a long time now, and it's a good time. It makes these games feel so much more lifelike. But I've thought about putting it on the pitch down, pitch back gyro control, but I don't think I want my gyro controls to be controlling that much. Let's go right. We're just cruising around tonight. I wish this game came with a night mode, but c'est la vie. I'll be going to the left here. This is fun. I love this mic and this webcam. It's wonderful. They were so easy to use. You just plug them in, and they're going for you. I'm almost out of USB slots on my frickin' PC though. I wonder if you can buy like multi-USB extensions. I'll put like my keyboard, my mouse, maybe even my mic and webcam all on the same one. I have no idea if that's feasible at all, but it'd be fun. Oh, this is awesome. I'm gonna have to make some thumbnails, some like crazy bombastic thumbnails, with my face like reacting to like a low corner like this, like what? Okay, that was a bad one, but I need to make some thumbnails with a big buggy eyes surprise face. Whew, I should not be going that fast. This is so fun though. Oh my goodness. I'm gonna need to figure out a good system for my arms right now. They're on some very uncomfortable plastic armrests that came with my free apartment chair, which is also slightly uncomfortable. It's much more comfortable than I would have expected it to be. It looks like it was probably bought for $15, and I've been working on it these whole 2 years that I've been living here. But it may have worn its welcome, because I need something with some padded armrests so I can use this here gyro. This is crazy fun. Wow. Which way should I go? I want to go toward Michael and Ramsey. Do not get overconfident, good sir. Do not get overconfident. You do not know the system well. And this is a dangerous place to be testing it out. Not overly dangerous if you're not going fast, but at speed, that's where it can all go wrong. Tread lightly. Tread lightly, my good friends, for you stomp upon sacred ground. Tread lightly. There's Michael. Tread lightly. What's that word for like stomp? Saunter. It's something like that. I don't know the exact word. Another major reason to avoid going too fast at first is because in the sharper corners that you take at a higher speed, where you're really sweeping it in and trying to get the bike underneath you, you do have to turn with more force, and that may be where I run into problems with the gyro switching between yaw and roll, like halfway through a turn. If I've reached the maximum allotted yaw input, you know. But we will advance very carefully as we get more and more used to this. That's so nice though. Oh my gosh. Not having to worry about like keeping the throttle perfectly straight as I pull it back. Because my turning used to be on my right thumbstick with my throttle, and so if I wanted to apply throttle while turning right, then I would move the thumbstick down and to the left at the same time. And while that did open up a lot of the controller and allow me to move my head while turning and shifting gears, it did require very precise application of the throttle. It required you to pull the thumbstick back very straightly, and I imagine that in a lot of cases that would have led me to not pull the throttle back at all when I should have been. So maybe not that extreme, but it is nice to just like put the throttle on when I'm in the middle of a turn like that. It's very cool. Alright, we're getting a little bit fast. I'm gonna slow down just a hair. I want to be comfortably between like 45 and 65 during the stream. Nothing too much faster than that. Yeah, it's corners like that exactly where I'm going to be able to see the limits of this gyro configuration. And maybe if I do hit the limits too quick, it'll be as I get further and further into this and more acquainted with the gyro control setup, it'll be learning the balance between how I should orient my controller in real life, how much I can play around with the angle of tilt settings in Steam inputs, so I might be able to limit the controller to just the range that it is useful in yaw mode, and then I could also play around with the controller calibration in this game itself and in all my games. And so that'll be just something that I'm messing around with going into the next couple months. Here's a quick corner that really comes out at you if you don't know the map well. Nice little hairpin. Okay. Still getting used to the controls here. Alright. If I crash, I crash. That was just technically a little bonk. That was a big nothing. Oh, this is gonna be so fun when I get the hang of it. I've also thought about, because I'm gonna be making a sim rig soon. I'll be starting it within the next 2 to 3 months, and I'm hoping to get it finished by the end of the year, at least like a prototype. But one thing I might start out on is making a gear shifter and perhaps even a rear brake applicator. And so then I'll be able to send like button inputs from my gear shift, and then I wouldn't really need to worry about the fact that I don't have much room on my controller anymore. It's worth looking into. Okay, we're gonna be going right. Before I started the stream, I was thinking about putting on the rainbow coloring for this light that I've got, but I figured I'd just start out with a little white. Maybe I throw on the rainbow coloring later when the party starts kicking in. little bit fast there. A little bit uncomfortable. I need to learn how to make very small adjustments and to know and to get used to stopping the controller at a certain point. I'm going to be watching the stream again after I'm done, just to make sure that all the audio levels and everything are all balanced pretty well. Vroom vroom. This is immersive. This is so immersive. This is fun, man. Really in this game right here. Really riding this motorcycle. This is super fun. Yeah, this gyro controller is essentially, it's like a stand-in for my sim rig. I bought it with intention when I was buying the components for this PC. Bought it with intention to be used for my motorcycle racing games here as a stand-in for my sim rig. What I'd like to do in the future is, in the near future, is construct a little frame for my controller so that I can just simply mount it to the frame and then not have to worry about keeping it aloft. And the frame would sort of look like motorcycle handlebars, and it might even have little buttons and stuff that could have levers that would press the buttons on the controller itself. I don't quite know how I'd do it yet. I don't know if I would want to go the 3D printing route, and if people will rent out their 3D printer for a little bit of time and send me the end result or something. Or if I could even find a cheap 3D printer, then that might be a fun little project of learning how to use 3D modeling software and all that. I don't think it'd be too involved of a project. It'd pretty much just be setting up a shape that would hold my controller pretty snug, and then putting in any mechanisms that I wanted to. This is fucking fun. Oh my goodness. Yeah, I fuck with this. I do have to get used to this though. There was a tiny little moment in that downhill right there where I felt like I was turned a little bit too far to the left, more so than I would have thought I was. So definitely need to get used to this gyro before I really open up the throttle with it. I forgot to get a podcast going. I've been enjoying this mic too much. I'm gonna not get a podcast going, but I will turn on some music in my headphone right here. Right now I've got the Forza Motorsport 3 soundtrack playing alongside the fucking Ride 4 soundtrack. You can't buy either of these on the internet, but you can find them on the internet. They have added infinitely to my life since I've brought them into it. Okay, let's get back on the road here. This is the fucking life right here, man. This is the fucking life. It's gonna be interesting going one-handed in order to do little itches, face itches and stuff. Gonna have to be holding it real still. Gotten a bunch of stuff in for upgrades to my motorcycle in real life over the past couple weeks. So much stuff. It's like overflowing my room right now, but I think tomorrow or the next day I'm gonna get outside and really go to town on this bike. I've got a number of things that I want to do to it, and a lot of them could be done at the same time, on the same day, because those all entail removing the gas tank, and so I could possibly do like most of the jobs that require you to remove the gas tank all in one go. But I also want to film each of the jobs, and I kind of want them to be separate videos. So I'm thinking about if I think I may go with this option where I don't film them all in one go and just tackle them one by one, day by day, and perhaps do 2 or more on a single day and just put the tank on and remove it, because it's not too tough to get the tank and the fairings off and everything, but I don't really want to feel pressured, I don't want to feel pressured to get 3 jobs done that I'm not familiar with, all just to save a little bit of time and to make the video editing aspect of it more difficult, Yeah, I don't want that. I think I will just do it job by job, because then, like, I've been sort of psyching myself out about, when I go out next, I'm gonna need to do 3 things, one of which is probably gonna take 6 hours, at least, and all of which I have not done before, so. I think tomorrow I will be doing my LED conversion. All of the lights on my motorcycle are halogen. A number of them do not work, and I want to remedy all of that. I want the bike to be upgraded to LEDs. And I've got all the equipment for it, all the electrical stuff for it. I am woefully ignorant of electrical systems, but this would be a good little dab in the feet in the water type of thing. Either before that or just after it, I'm also going to install new hand grips and heated hand grip coils that you can put underneath your hand grips in order to heat your hand grips, as is illustrated in the name. I want to be able to do that. It's warm in Florida, but it's not warm every day, and it's not warm most of the nights in winter. Although it has been crazy warm here lately. It's been like 70. It got pretty cold like a week ago, and it's supposed to get cold again, but regardless, I just want some heated hand grips, I want that option. What else? I'm doing myself a little moto vlog here. It's kind of interesting. I got another interesting thing. I got a Cardo Pack Talk on my helmet, and I love it. It's amazing. It's got very nice JBL speakers that sit perfectly inside your helmet and are literally just Velcro. Like, you Velcro them on, and it's the simplest installation process, and they sound good. I'm a stickler for my audio stuff. They sound pretty good. It's almost better than my AirPods, and it's probably because they're much bigger speakers. They're about the size of a $50 coin, for anyone who still knows how big $50 coins are. It's a little bit bigger than a quarter, and they've got good bass, and they let in a lot of outside noise, but somehow it doesn't really mask quieter noises going through the speakers. Like, I can decently well follow a podcast on my motorcycle, and I've got a big loud aftermarket exhaust on my motorcycle, so it'll cut through that. It'll cut right through it. I'm just on autopilot right now. I'm going to be turning left here in a little bit. This is loads of fun. Excuse me. There's Michael. Oh, this feels much more intuitive for this section. This section always sketched me out so much when I was going through it on just using a joystick. But now you do still have to be very careful, but I can really model the front of the road, or the road ahead of me, in my hands. And I can guess where I'm going to need to move my hands next. That's wonderful. That's really wonderful. That makes it a lot less random. Removes a lot of randomness from this section for me. That's very nice. I imagine it's going to feel like butter when I actually build my sim rig. That feels completely different. That's so cool. Oh, it's nerve-wracking, but incredibly fun. I gotta get my hands loose. Gotta get my hands loose on this controller. Don't want to be gripping it. Oh my gosh. The littlest correction. I gotta be so careful with this freaking gyro. Lots of attention. Lots of attention needs to be paid. There's so much potential here. This is awesome. Just lay on it. I want something so much more open. I want something I can just mess around with. But I'm gonna have to change a lot of controls in Rims Racing, and I'm gonna have to actually pull the trigger and go forward with the gyro in that game, because you have to, like I said, you have to change so many controls in order to get it to work as I want it to. So once I do that, I'll be able to play with this gyro a little more risk-free on a track. I just want to open it up. Whoa, whoa. Yeah, let's keep the speeds down. I cannot freaking wait until I'm used to these controls and can really just like rip this. This feels so good. This gyro. A little bit ago, I think I was talking about being able to look and losing that ability with the gyro, but I have been also slightly less intensively working on VorpX, which is a virtual reality mod that you can use to play non-VR games such as this one and such as Rims Racing. And you can play them in VR. And I don't know if it is depth VR or just like VR, like a screen inside VR goggles, and it's not really 3D. I'm very curious about that. So I'm gonna be working on that a little bit too, and hopefully within the next little while I'll be able to integrate VR into these streams, and that would be amazing. That would totally change everything about how I play these games. That'd be so cool. Oh, I'm locked in right now. Might be interesting to look into doing a sort of augmented reality with these as well, with the gyro controller. There's this guy I saw on YouTube who made a really cool looking sim rig for motorcycle games, where he used a lot of Fanatec equipment, but he made a video of him using this sim rig in augmented reality. So he had his VR set up, and then he had a green screen behind his sim rig so that he could overlay his like first person view from his VR camera over the game, like in the video. And it looks really nice. It's really smooth and convincing. And it might be kind of fun to do something like that for my gyro controller. Although it'd be tough. It'd be tough to do. I'd have to do some brainstorming. That's not what I want. Alright, let's be careful. Yeah, let's keep it a slow pace. How about that? Slow pace until we're used to it. It's so ridiculous to have myself getting used to this frickin' control scheme on this streaming series. I crash, I donate, but gotta take it seriously, you know? Sort of acting like this is a new sort of bike, you know? How else are you gonna test a new bike? You gotta ride it. So, it's gotta be ginger. Gotta be ginger on the controls, and I'll be rewarded. Excuse me. This is incredibly fun. Wow. I'm locked in right now. It's so much easier to correct like a slight mistake in lean angle. Before, I would have to like move my thumbstick a decent amount in order to just correct a slight miscalculation in lean angle. Like if I was going too straight right there in that one, right? Or say like if I feel I'm going too straight right there. Before, I would have needed to jostle the bike around a whole bunch, just like barely moving my thumbstick. But now I can just make a tiny little correction, and it corrects the bike as I need it to. So that is very hopeful. That's insanely fun. That is insanely fun. See, right there, I would love to be able to turn my head, like right there, see my exit, but it is a functionality that I am willing to sacrifice for this. I want to listen to Harry Potter again soon. It's been a little while since I listened to the Harry Potter books. Tried listening to them in Spanish recently, but I don't know that much Spanish. It was I play most of my video games in Spanish. I've been trying to learn it pretty deeply for a while now. I know it very generally, and I've studied it for a long time, but I've not practiced it for a long time at any point in my life. And so I can't speak it very well. And would very much desire to take my practice a little more seriously in the future. But I tried listening to Harry Potter in Spanish because I've listened to the Harry Potter books a lot, but I still was not able to follow most of what they were saying. It was kind of unfortunate. I'd like to live in a Spanish country for a year or two at some point. It'd be interesting. I almost moved to Puerto Rico. I was about to move to Puerto Rico like next month for a motorcycle mechanic school there, but I found another motorcycle mechanic school in Austin, Texas that is... There's just way more opportunities for me in Austin than there are in Puerto Rico right now. And we'll not get into it at the present moment. Okay, what next? Let's keep going down the line. See there, right there is where I hit the limit of my gyro. It's about at 45 degrees. I think the next thing I will do in order to dial in my gyro will be to change out the maximum like roll angle for my gyro. If I did it to like 30 degrees maybe, I think I might get the full functionality out of just my yaw inputs. Gotta look at where I'm going though. Oh my goodness. Not as quick as I would like it to turn. Yeah, there's still some stuff that I would like to adjust. almost feels like my controller has drifted a little bit, like my center isn't quite my center, but the roads on the Isle of Man are slanted on each side to drain water, so I don't know if that's more so just the road tilt or if it is my controller going slightly off center. It's definitely not too bad though. This really does feel like riding a motorcycle though. It's kind of crazy. It's really kind of crazy. I have so much more insight into what my rear wheel is doing right now. It's amazing. Jamming out to some freaking Forza Motorsport soundtrack right now. Oh my goodness. It's legendary. It's a legendary soundtrack. Perfectly captures the vibration of that game. Perfectly. It's the best Forza Motorsport 3, by far. All the other games are ass in comparison. And they don't support it on the Xbox store. They don't let you buy it. It's a damn sham. You can only get a physical copy for Xbox 360. You can't even get it for PC. You can't even download it. It's some bullshit. Yeah, I'm definitely gonna have to play around with these controls for a little bit before I get them to where I'd like them to be. But this is a incredible start. Incredibly fun, even as is. I wish I could play music over these streams. It'd be so fun. I'd like some more sharp right turns. I haven't been doing too many of those lately, and I want to get a feeling for these right turns. I think there's one coming up. let's see where straight comes out to. So that's straight. Yeah, that's pretty straight. Okay, maybe it has not been floating as much as I thought it was. The center for this gyro. Loose on the hands, loose on the hands. Get a feel for the brakes. Be loose, be loose. This is so fun. Oh my goodness. This is amazing. Opening it up. This is incredibly fun. Oh my goodness. Gotta make sure I'm keeping myself within my skill range as far as speed goes, but oh my gosh, I can't get enough of this. Oh, it's it's fun. You can do so much with this, so much more than with the thumbstick. Oh my gosh, I'm loving life right now. This is amazing. We're all alive, people. How cool is that? We're alive right now. Take a deep breath in, take a long breath out. Hold it. Feel it. Feel that aliveness pumping through you. Ooh, this is fun. Oh my goodness. I could do this every day. I just need some better arm rests. Oh my lord. Oh my gosh. It changes the game so much, having a gyro controller. That's amazing. I'm a kid on Christmas morning right now. This is a ball. Yeah, I think I should definitely lower the amount that I need to turn my hands in order to have the bike reacting the game. Definitely. I only need like 20 degrees, maybe 30 total. I think right now I've got 60 total, 30 on each side. I might bump that down to 20 on each side or even 15. I need much less. Oh, that's amazing. That's amazing fun. Oh my gosh. Oh, that's fun. Oh my gosh. Whew. I'm so glad the setup was so easy to prepare. Really, the mic and the webcam are plug and play. The mic stand wasn't too tough to figure out how to set up. Though it is a little janky. I've got... The only place I could attach my mic stand was to my... like a little drawer for a keyboard, and that means that drawer needs to be slightly pulled out when I'm using the mic, but whatever. Alright, I say we get back out there. Actually, I'm going to turn up my screen's brightness right now, and I gotta do that on the screen itself. Picture expert brightness. Oh, okay, that's a little better. Okay. Back into it. I'm gonna go around to the start of the course, right over in the grandstands. Lots of ideas, lots of ideas. Let's take the speed down a little bit. That's too fast. This is boatloads of fun. This is incredibly fun. I can't stop saying it. It's just too fun. It's the only adjective I know right now. It's wonderful. Yeah, I'm getting a good idea of what I would want to tweak for the next stream. I'm gonna tweak this gyro controller right here. Yeah, this is awesome. And it appears that we're starting to get a slight bug in the audio at low RPMs. This happens pretty often with this game. It's a really shitty bug that they definitely should have fixed a long time ago. But yeah, it does appear to be crackling a little bit at really low RPMs. Let's see. Yeah, it just did a little bit right there. If it gets too bad, I'm just gonna end the stream, and I'm probably gonna end the stream in about 10 minutes regardless, because I do not want to push my luck too much more with this new setup. I'd like to get used to this over the course of a couple weeks. Just slowly build this controller into my brain and not get too far out of my skis. Get too far in front of my skis. Because there are a number of turns at which I turn the controller thinking it's going to do something, and then it doesn't do quite as much as I wanted it to. Yeah, there's a lot of crackle right there. I will let that get to the point at which it becomes unbearable, and then I will end the stream. I love a good second gear so much. Explode out of the second gear. Whoa. It's always a tough switchback. Always a tough switchback right there. Yeah, my audio's getting pretty laggy at this point. It's getting close to when I'm gonna stop the stream, I think. But yeah, I'm sold. I'm gonna change my other games, Rim Racing and GP Bikes, over to Gyro, and I'm gonna get everything set up. This is amazing. GP bikes might be a little challenging though, because I want to be able to lean my guy on the bike, and that's going to be challenging, given that I will not have access to one of my thumbsticks. I don't know, I'm going to have to look into that. Yeah, that audio's getting pretty bad. I don't even know where I am right now. Oh. I'm on up part of the way toward Kirkmichael. And the audio is starting to get unbearable, so I'm gonna head up to Michael here real quick, and then I'm gonna end the stream. And that's gonna be that. Up to Michael. And we're just strutting in. Gonna find a place to park. And that'll be that for the night. Park up here on this sidewalk. Okay. Well, that was my first stream with a camera and with a microphone and with some good frickin' gyro controls. Oh my gosh, that's incredibly fun. Well, over the next however long, I'm going to be playing around with my lighting. I'm going to be playing around with audio levels in OBS. Going to be playing around with exact gyro controls. I'd like to get another camera at some point soon to have as a dedicated controller camera, so I don't have to be lifting my hands up a good bit to get them in picture. What else? What else? I'd like to start playing Tracked AR a little bit. That's another one of these motorcycle simulators, and seems to be pretty good, like on par with GP bikes, maybe. What's going on with my camera right now? I'm not totally sure. The screen's moving a little bit. I'm going to exit this game before my controller can kill me. Let's get out of here. Well, there I am. There's my pretty face. Okay. That was that. Thank you very much for watching if you watched. This is a monumental stream for me. Lots of firsts today. Lots of firsts. It's awesome. I've got a lot of work on my hands. Let's get down to it. Thank you for watching again, and I will see you in the next one.